Voice style: deep, grave, and authoritative male voice. Speak slowly and deliberately, approximately 130 words per minute. Every sentence should carry weight, as if each word is a verdict from history itself. Tone: somber, cinematic, and intense. Think documentary narrator, not a news anchor. Channel the gravity of a war historian standing at a battlefield cemetery. Pacing: pause for 1 full second after every major statement. Pause for 2 full seconds before the opening line and after the final line. Let silence do the work. Emphasis: stress the following words and phrases with a slightly lower, heavier tone. Greatest catastrophe. Germany invaded Poland. We shall never surrender. Fatal mistake. Bloodiest battles. Surprise attack. Entire world was now at war. Tide turned. 70 million people. Never be the same again. Emotion: cold and controlled grief. No dramatic Hollywood acting. The weight should come from restraint, not volume. The listener should feel the scale of loss without being told to feel it. Delivery note: on the line, "The war was over." Pause 2 full seconds before it. Then deliver it quietly, almost in a whisper. Then pause again. Then finish with, "Over 70 million people had lost their lives." In 1939, the world was on the edge of the greatest catastrophe in human history. Adolf Hitler, the dictator of Nazi Germany, had already swallowed Austria and Czechoslovakia. The world watched and waited. Then, on September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war. World War II had begun. Within months, the Nazi war machine swept across Europe. France fell in just 6 weeks. The skies over Britain turned dark with German bombers. In what became known as the Blitz, thousands of civilians died as London burned night after night. But Britain refused to surrender. Prime Minister Winston Churchill told his people, "We shall never surrender." Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, Hitler made his most fatal mistake. In June 1941, he launched Operation Barbarossa, a massive invasion of the Soviet Union. Over 3 million German soldiers pushed deep into Russian territory. But the brutal Russian winter and the fierce Soviet resistance stopped them cold. Stalingrad became the turning point, one of the bloodiest battles in history, nearly 2 million casualties in a single city. Across the Pacific, Japan had already been waging war in Asia for years. Then, on December 7, 1941, Japanese aircraft launched a surprise attack on the American naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The next day, the United States entered the war. The entire world was now at war. June 6, 1944. D-Day. Over 156,000 Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, under a hail of bullets. It was the largest seaborne invasion in history. Thousands died in the first hours, but they held the beach. And from that moment, the tide turned against Nazi Germany. By May 1945, Berlin had fallen. Hitler was dead. Germany surrendered. But the war in the Pacific raged on, until August 1945, when the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrendered. The war was over. Over 70 million people had lost their lives. The world would never be the same again.